Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, the playoffs start for the Redline Racing Series. 10 drivers are eligible for the first round of the playoffs. Looks like we got, I believe, 7 of them out here tonight. Only 5 will advance to round 2, which will be next week at Dover. But first on tap is Daytona, and it is the Legacy Daytona. That means it's the old Daytona. That means it's the bumpy Daytona. So this is not just going to be your typical, pack racing and everybody's nice and easy through the corners, and you're just trying to find the fastest line. Here it's going to be a little bit more of being smart and trying to just survive out here. Carl, we're joined in the booth tonight by my co-host Mark Thomas. Mark, a little bit of super speedway action, but certainly a little rough out there too.
Yeah, this track kind of reminds me a bit of you, a bit coarse, a bit abrasive, old and bumpy.
He's the...
Yeah, should be interesting actually. I think the bumps are going to upset a few drivers. We're going to see a few unwanted lane changes. It's one of those tracks that, unless you can find your groove and you know where the bumps are, it can jump you out of a lane. I think is probably the best way to say it, because the steering goes light and then you try and counter steer, and before you know it, you're in a bit of a tank slapper, and then it's all over.
Yeah, and you certainly don't want to start it out that way here for the playoffs. If you're one of the playoff drivers, the ones we got here in attendance are Daniel Wiles, Kyle Heath, Rick DeWeese, James Connolly, Cody Lunger, Chase Reynolds, and Larry Johnson. So we will switch over. We'll show you the lineup here as these guys have now completed their qualifying session, and qualifying order is going to be this. And just so you know, while I'm going through the order here, the guys in red there, the guys with the red numbers, are your playoff drivers. The numbers will show up in red also on the standings screen, so you'll know who your 5 playoff driver, or your playoff drivers are, and who the top 5 will be. But starting order for tonight is going to be Chris Rude on the pole with the 32, as he ran a 48.422, only 4 thousandths of a second faster than Daniel Wiles. Kyle Heath starts third, Rick DeWeese in 4th, Derek Booker in 5th, James Connolly, Cody Lunger, Chase Reynolds, Larry Johnson, Peter Stewart round out the top 10, and then Austin Lunger and Robert Richards rounding out your field here tonight. 12 guys out here, and we certainly hope 12 guys will finish this thing, but again, you'll see here in a minute how bumpy this thing can be in the corners, and it certainly adds a little flair to these guys racing out here tonight. But I mean, these guys had a week off. Hopefully they had some time to practice. Hopefully, it's, you think of super speedways, you think of Daytona, you think, well, I don't need to practice. It's fine. For Legacy Daytona, you got to get some laps in.
Oh yeah, 100%. Not only that, but it's one of those. Being a playoff race, it's one of those where you really want to make sure that I think that you at least have a guaranteed drafting partner, because if you get left out on your own round here, it's going to hurt you badly.
I think 12 guys is a nice, sensible field here, and it hopefully will keep the racing pretty decent as we tackle this race here tonight. Again, 50 laps on tap, and it seems like a lot of laps. Once these guys get going, they're going to click off pretty quickly, and it could come down to strategy. And it's just like any other plate track race here. It's not just about the racing on the track, but it's also about finding partners to pit with as well. And it looks like we do have Jacob Allen is a late entry here, so we'll get him cleared up. He is one of your playoff drivers as well, so I will add him to the list here real quick, and we'll get him all sorted out before this thing gets going.
He's in a nice shade of yellow for me right now, so
just all you gotta do is ask.
He was.
All you gotta do is ask.
He was, and then you took him away from me. You stole him, Carl.
Good thing we had him show up, though. So we do have 8 of our 10 playoff drivers here tonight. Again, only 5 will advance. Top 5 playoff drivers here will be your playoff drivers in round number 2 at Dover next week. But in a little bit smaller field here tonight, 13 drivers out here. Mark, is the strategy still the same? Is it still, you know, kind of going to where you're comfortable, or, you know, are you now trying to make sure you get towards the front here, and you know, especially if you're a playoff driver, you want to be, you know, kind of leading those top 5 guys?
Yeah, I kind of do. I like super speedways. I love plate racing. I do, because you kind of have to be super situationally aware. My luck doesn't normally extend to super speedways. If there's a big one, I'm normally in the middle of it, which tends to happen quite a lot. But yeah, if it was me right now, I would want to be up the front. So, you know, if I was Jacob right now, with Mr. Allen, I would be on that loud pedal as soon as I could and be working my way through the field, because I do not want to be in the back.
Green flag waving from Barney, and these guys are off and running here at Daytona. And we'll see how quick it becomes 2, or well, it's already 2 wide, how quick it becomes 3 or 4 wide as they head into turn number 1. And you already see the cars bouncing around, still not anywhere close up to full speed yet. They'll probably get up to full speed towards the end of this lap, and right now it's just kind of feeling it out and feeling where this car is comfortable.
Oh, there's a little bump drafted already. The 31 and the 32, they were so close, it looked like they were magnetically attached. I'm not sure I'd want to be. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, Carl.
And a little bit of a back end wobble there from the 17 coming out. Very interesting there, but we are off and running here now. These guys will complete lap 1, but you see everybody diving around here, but it is not a playoff driver in the lead. It is the man that grabbed the pole. That is Chris Rude. He is out there out front, and he's trying to steal one away from these playoff drivers, but you see the next 5 in line are playoff drivers before you get back to Derek Booker, and now make it 6 in line. Be very interesting to see who is just, you know, comfortable and content hanging around in the back, and who really wants to get up here and lead a lap as the 31 of Heath right on the back bumper of Rude. And now Connolly going to move out. Certainly used to seeing that 29 move out to that outside line, and he's going to do it again.
Yeah, you kind of also want to stay a little close so you can get that side draft, but around here, that's not always the best choice, because as we said before, it is real bumpy, and those cars can move around a bit. As you can see just then, just a little, they hit the bumps, and those cars just, you know, the camber of the track, and you know, it's just difficult to keep the car in line, so you want to leave at least a little gap for the guy below you to give you some room. Please, listen to me, guys. Don't.
Yeah, I think we need to start looking out and reaching out to you know, like Tums and Aleve, and you know, things for heart medicine for Mark here for sponsorships. I think we're gonna need some heart medication and some acid reflux medicine to try and help him get through these races, especially the ones here on the super speedways. I'm surprised these guys are even bump drafted already, let alone at any point in the race, because these cars don't exactly take bump drafting too well. But speaking of sponsors, just a shout out to the sponsors here for the series, that being Sam's Tree Service, J1 Designs, and Shakers Bar and Grill. So thank you to those guys, as certainly loose and chase off the track. I don't know how the 00 of Louise and the 21 of Johnson didn't get in a wreck right there, because that looked like there was some serious contact.
That was well held by both of those guys. Again, a little jump there, I think. Up the track.
And there is our first incident. 32 into the 29, no caution. They both kept it straight. The 29 still in the wall. And that is certainly hurting the drivability of the 29 of Connolly. And I think that was just a little bit of a side draft gone wrong.
that's a playoff. To quote a friend of ours, championship implications.
Yep, absolutely. That's going to move now Heath out to the lead as they are now stretched out single file. The 32 into pit lane, and I'm sure we're going to see the 29 duck into pit lane as well, and indeed he will. But there's going to be a long road back here. I mean, obviously a caution can get him right back in the mix here. Still plenty early, but not exactly the way you want to start this race out. Now the 00 of Dewey is going to go to the outside of Johnson and try and run his way up through the field, but top 6 guys are playoff drivers, and they certainly know what they're doing out there. We've seen a lot of these names at the front the entire season, and we see now Allen started in the back of the field, didn't even get a chance to qualify, but already up into 6th position.
I was just about to say the exact same thing. I think he must have us playing in the background. He was listening to me. He took my advice.
At least there's somebody out there doing that. There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
See, you're helping
Wow.
somebody. That's it. We're here to help. We're here to mentor. But I mean, if anybody's listening to me, again, off drafting these things are sketchy. It's sketchy at any kind of track, even at the super speedways. But bumping this early is, whew, it's. I'm gonna need some of that. I'm gonna need to borrow some of that medicine myself for this one.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'll post it over to you.
man, these guys are just bouncing all over the place. It's a surprise that we've only had really one incident so far in this race, and I think that was more attributed to side drafting. But these guys went single file for about a half a lap maybe, and now we're back to 2 wide racing already. Johnson now to the outside of Heath as they will battle for first, side by side for third, as you have Wiles on the inside, Luis on the outside, and then side by side for 5th as Cody Lunger on the inside and Derek Booker on the outside. And now looks like a good run on the outside by the 21.
I will say that Reynolds keeps taking a quick look up at the inside of Booker. He's right there again. I think he wants past, but he's not quite sure if he can make the move stick.
Big incident there. The 21 puts a 31 into the wall. Again, another one where the guys keep it straight and keep it flat against the wall, but that was 2 playoff drivers getting involved in that one. The 21 of Johnson, the 31 of Heath. And our playoff drivers really struggling here tonight. That's 3, and that just happens to be the lucky number here tonight. I think these other 5 guys need to just realize what's at stake here and maybe just try and work on keeping this thing clean to the end.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Carl.
It's a nice thought, okay?
I don't think that's going to happen at all. In fact, I think the exact opposite is going to happen. I think at some point, especially as we get closer towards the end, all hell is going to break loose, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's certainly it's early, but it doesn't mean it's not getting spicy already. As another pass for the lead. This time it is going to be Luis going to the front, and he's going to clear the field, get down in front of Wiles, who doesn't have his teammate out here tonight. The way it looks like Moultrie not in the field here tonight, so he's going to have to find somebody else to work with, and looks like he's going to just be content pushing Dewey's right now as the 15 of Reynolds on the outside, trying to make up some ground. Cody Lunger there on the inside, getting real close as he bumps and pushes his way up the track, and now we do have a spin in the back. And that will indeed bring out our first caution. And good news for James Connolly, as he was in the lucky dog position. He'll get back on the lead lap, so all of our playoff drivers will have a chance now to breathe, I think, would be the first thing, and then come into the pits and get repairs and get topped off. We'll take a look at what brought out that caution.
I think that was Heath, because it looked like to me that he was on an absolute mission to bring that car right back up to the front.
You see coming off the corner, looks like he just gets a massive run, gets it in the back of the 70 of Austin Lunger, and that sends him right up into the wall as well. Some heavy damage to the outside of the 31, and I don't think the 70 got away too clean either, as he certainly got up into the wall as well. Take a look at that one more time. You see just ahead of steam, and you see how much these cars are bouncing up and down. It looks like he tried to go to the high side, but already into the back of Austin Lunger, and you see hard impact into the outside of 31 out there as well. So that will bring out our first caution as we are on lap 11 here of 50, and we'll see who is going to be brave enough to stay out and who's going to come into pit lane. Looks like a few guys are going to stay out, but it's kind of half and half, Mark. I'm kind of surprised at this. If I'm out there, I'm taking every chance, any chance I get to pit. I want to be topped off. I want to have fresh tires, everything like that, especially if it's under caution.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, because going over those bumps and pushing as hard as these guys are, and I think every single one of them is on maximum attack. I want all the fuel I can get. I want the freshest tyres, so that if it does happen, if that big one does happen, that I have a chance to stay out. Then I want to be able to have that option available to me if it comes down to it. But yeah, the fact that some of these guys are staying out, I'm with you, Carl. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like the top 6 stay out, and the rest of them are going to come in. You've seen James Connolly getting a wave around there, and Chris Root also getting a wave around. So it looks like both these guys are going to get back on the lead lap. But the top 6 stay out. I mean, it's certainly not. I don't think we're worried about fuel at this point in the race. But again, just like Mark's saying, just getting those fresh tires. Just even if it doesn't do that much, even if your tires are only at 95% right now, it's just mental comfortability and knowing that you have the absolute best car to try and attack this track as the track just tries to attack you right back.
I want to know that underneath me I have the best chance available, because you're never going to know exactly when the next caution is going to happen. You want to have all of your options covered. You want to have the most amount of fuel. You want to have the freshest tires, because when it does go, it could be like from this point on we don't see another caution, which means that you can go that little longer, you can go that little harder because you're on fresh fuel, you've got more tire. Yeah, if it was me, Carl, I'm with you. I'd be in, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen 3 incidents so far, but only 1 has brought out the caution. I mean, we've seen two times that 2 cars got together, but they kind of flattened it against the wall, and it kept them going straight, and that's not going to bring out a caution. It took a spin there from Austin Lunger, helped out from Heath. That's what brought out our first caution here tonight, but we are on lap 13 of 50, so, I mean, we're already a quarter of the way through this race. So, what are your thoughts so far? I mean, it's been pretty crazy out here, and these guys are bump drafting and doing everything already.
To be honest, I thought it was going to be the first 25, maybe 30 laps were going to be a bit of a procession, and then everybody was going to, start putting the hammer down for the last 20. I could not have been more wrong. They've all gone absolutely Garrett right from the word go. Sorry, that's an English euphemism. But they've absolutely gone berserk, right? Well, I say berserk, but they've given absolutely everything they can right from the first lap. The one driver who has impressed me right now, Jacob Allen, come from the back of the field, put himself up, worked his way through the field, was smart about it. Last time I saw him, he was running 3rd or 4th. Okay, he's come in, he's taken their advice again, Carl. He's come in, I think he's put fresh, let me have a look, where's his pit? Yeah, fresh fuel. Looks like a set of tyres too.
Well, it's no surprise that that he's been one to watch, as he's certainly been a good driver this season. He's got the most wins out of anybody. There's been a few guys that have a single win on the season, but he is the only one with 2. Pace car is in, and time to get this thing fired up once again, and we are racing at Daytona. Good start from the 15 of Reynolds. Lunger looks to slide in there. Maybe the little bit of Vaseline to slide in front of that 46, but somehow he does work his way down inside there. And Booker's gonna be in third place, side-by-side battle back there in fourth position. But these three now together, they're gonna look to kind of work together, but this field will easily reel them right back in here as we head down the backstretch. Take a look at 3 wide racing here as Wiles goes up through the middle, and here comes a 00 shot out of a cannon. I mean, I know that the nickname for the 00 is Buckshot, and he was certainly shot through, and your boy, the 4 of Jacob Allen, putting on some moves as well. Guys, this is lap 14. Just let us breathe up here a little bit. Let us get into the race a little bit before, you know, before both of us have a heart attack and you're looking for another broadcaster for the final 2 races of the season. But yeah, certainly I don't think listening to us. And how about Wiles? You want to talk about having the confidence with fresh tires. Drove from pretty much the back to the front in a lap. He is now leading the field as he's got the 00 of DeWeese behind him. Now he moves down to the inside.
DeWeese coming through, I think it was DeWeese coming through the middle. No, hold on. Here comes another one.
Oh, and contact right there between the 29 and 33. The 21 goes up through the middle. Somehow he shot the gap, got into the wall. Looks like he might have picked up a little bit of damage there. That is the 21 of, I'm losing myself here, the 21 of Johnson. So hopefully that's not going to damage him too much that he's going to lose this field. But man, these guys are not wasting any time getting into the action here.
Absolutely not. But again, it's great racing. Although this little front pack had made a little bit of a stretch from the rest of the field. I'm wondering if they can put some distance in.
Well, they've got to calm down and kind of get in line and stop racing each other as hard as they've been. That's step number 1, and I don't think they're going to get to that step really. As the 00 back and forth trying to figure out what he wants to do. And now DeWeese moves back to the outside. Looks like Cody Lunger going to join him, jumps in front of Derek Booker again, this time on the outside line. And DeWeese going to get a good run. And side by side once again.
Coming up from the outside. Looking at slot through.
Looks like our front pack here of 10 drivers starting to check out now a bit, as you have Johnson back there with Stewart, and Stewart's content to push him to try and catch back up to this field, but I'm wondering if that damage on Johnson is going to cost him here.
Yeah, it's highly likely. Aero is pretty crucial around here, and it doesn't take a lot of damage for you to start losing like a 10th or 2 a lap, and a 10th or 2 a lap might not sound a great deal, but the overall speed difference that you lose compared to the guys in front, especially if they're, you know, as they are right now, they've got that train going, they seem to be in each other's toe. That can hurt, and once you, as we said before, if you start to lose the guys in front of you, there's very little chance of coming back unless you get it under a caution.
We've seen the lap times there. It's not even a 10th or 2. It was 4/10 that lap that these guys lost back there. And looks like they switched positions as Stewart jumped in front of Johnson to see if maybe him in the front would help cut through this area a little bit better. But now Johnson is certainly injured. The 33 of Richards now gets around him as well. So big hurt there for the 21, and he's certainly going to need a caution. He's going to need some kind of help here. I mean, I believe these guys got 2 fast repairs that they got to work with, so he'll have a chance to get that thing repaired if there's another caution. But if these guys, hey, you guys can't hear it, but I'm knocking, I'm pounding on wood. I'm doing whatever you want, but if these guys keep it clean, it's going to be a tough way for that 21 to get back in this thing.
I think they might have had a little word with each other during the pit stop, because they don't seem to be as aggressive as they once were. I think the guys have come to the realization that, you know, we still have 30 laps left to go. So trying to conserve, and maybe a couple of the guys who have had damage have already had to take that first fast repair. I don't know, man. I'm not sure I would have taken it then either, because I'm still saying that at 20, yeah, a lap 30 with 20 to go, things are going to start spicing up all over again.
Well, if this is calm, I hate to see it once it starts ramping up, because this is pretty hairy out here, and you see again how much these guys are bouncing around. We'll hop on board with one of my favorite cameras, the gyro cam, and show you how much this banking is here as we jump on board with Daniel Wiles. And you don't seem to feel it as much inside the car when you're driving, but when you looks like Wiles is going to fall back to the back here. He's not happy being up front anymore, and I almost don't blame him here. He's had his time at the front, but you don't see it or feel it that much when you're driving this car, you know, how much this track is banked. When you get in the gyro cam here, you get a little bit more of a sense.
You can see the car in front of him just bouncing around on the suspension. I mean, that's crazy. Even through the tri-oval, there's a little compression there, compression there. Oh, there's a big dip as you go in. What? Can you think? It's just...
Are you having fun, Mark? Are you happy you're in the booth and not on the track right now?
Yeah, well, I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be out there. Man, that's just... Look at it.
And showing you the 10 car pack here, you see it on your track map. The rest of the field, nowhere to be found. They are falling back fast, especially, you know, the little two-man pack of Richards and Stewart. But then even further back is Johnson. So all three of those guys certainly need a caution to get themselves back into this race. But we're not even halfway yet. Getting close as these guys now start lap 23, and it is Chase Reynolds out front.
I've been listening to the how much pressure they're putting on the tyres. They seem to be doing quite well at being able to conserve the tyres.
Now Connolly, Mr. Highline, has moved himself into the first position, but Reynolds fighting back on the inside as we got two lanes kind of forming now at the front. Front 6, throw a blanket over him. I mean, you can do it for the front 10 right now. Pretty crazy here early on here for the Redline Racing. Playoff race number 1 here at Daytona.
Yeah, there's a big old wiggle there from DeWeese. Just chasing that car around, trying to keep it. He's going even higher. Good God, man! Just please, you're going to give me a coronary.
So I got to ask you, of the 5 guys right here, are you happy being the 15 leading on the inside, the 29 leading on the outside, the 5 pushing on the inside, the 00 pushing on the outside, or would you rather be Daniel Wiles in the back of this pack just watching all this take place?
Right now, at this particular moment in time, I want to be Daniel Wiles. I just want to be tucked in. I want to see everything that's happening right ahead of me. Because stuff like that's what I don't want. Stuff like that. Good grief, man.
As the 00 of Wiles decides to leave the 29 up there and drop down to the bottom, and he will grab the lap lead right there. But you see, even 2 cars on the outside, he just have Connolly and Booker on the outside right now, and you know, not even really working together that well. But that outside line is certainly generating quite a lot of speed, and now DeWeese going to fall back to the back as well. He got his lap lead, and now he is just going to be content dropping out of this thing, but dropping out of it maybe a little bit too far. Is there an issue there for the 00?
I don't know. Maybe he's dropped way.
I mean, was that just a miscalculation on the 00's part for jumping out of line and trying to get back in there? Because 2.5 seconds now is too far back to catch the field, and that could be a very, very costly mistake. If these guys continue to keep it green, we could have another playoff driver that made a big mistake.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was some kind of unforced error of some description. Because we saw Wiles perform pretty much the same maneuver, just dropped on just below the apron and backed off just a little bit to let the rest of the field, pass him, and then slot himself back into the back of the pack.
And that is the big one here at Daytona. That's going to take out nearly the front half of the field. Just about to say, Larry Johnson coming in, he made his pit stop and got back out there. He was a lap down, but the big one right there, as we'll take a look at that one more time. I believe that was started with the 15.
I think it got a little...
And it was even before this, so
yeah, it was.
We will rewind it here.
Yeah, I think he got a little...
Looks like I'm not sure if he just got a little arrow loose coming out of the corner there, but that thing was just snapping back and forth. Collects the 29 and the 46. Then the 29 trying to keep it straight comes down. And between the 4 and the 5, they all get together right there. And then the 4 coming up, the 70 has nowhere to go. He gets sandwiched in the middle. I think the 32 and the 31 may have been the only ones to make it through this wreck right here. As we take a look at the 32 will make it through. It's like the 31 makes it through. And maybe the 17 of Wiles. So the position that you wanted to be in had time to check up and get through this thing? Or am I wrong?
Yes. I made the right choice, Carl.
Like a glove.
I made the right choice.
Like a glove right there. We'll take a look at that one more time from the cockpit view of Daniel Wiles, as not exactly what you want to see.
Which way do you go?
You go hard on the brakes is what you do here in the beginning, as you see coming up on the 15 turn completely backwards.
Goes high, sees it happening, thinks we're...
And at this point, you're trying to gas it up to try and get through this thing, but then you can't because these guys are going sideways. The 31 somehow makes it through here quickly. The 32 already right there, you see, coming out of the tri-oval. And right here, the 31 makes a quick decision to get back down to the inside. He's safe, but for the 17, made the right move at the right time, slams on the brakes, and you want to talk about close right there. Doesn't get much closer than that.
No, it does not. Daniel Wiles, a superb piece of driving, my friend.
I think we need to take
superb.
One more look and just get a view from what Barney's seeing as this thing happen. We'll even take it at full speed.
Yeah, on the brakes, on the brakes.
I think Barney is a little bit late with that yellow flag there. I mean, they were certainly spinning and wrecking a little bit before he threw out the yellow flag, but either way, we are under caution here for the second time, and we are now past the halfway point as we are on lap 30 of 50. A lot of cars involved in that one. Certainly, I think a lot had at least one faster pair left in the bag. Again, I'm pretty sure these guys have 2 faster pairs. In fact, let me just double check right now. Actually, no, they have unlimited faster pairs here tonight. So that certainly makes it easier for these guys. And we've got everybody back on the lead lap, so Larry Johnson will be able to join these guys once again.
I'm just about to say the same thing. Also, who dropped off from the back of the pack after we said he made a slight miscalculation?
That was Mr. Deweese, who is in second place right now, the 00. So
yeah,
with the pit stops here,
Yeah, now what I'm trying to think, does he have some kind of fortune teller or Mystic Meg or something in his ears, because he dropped out of that at the perfect time, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody came into the pits this time by, other than Larry Johnson, who got the lucky dog there. He's going to stay out here, but he pit on lap 25. He pit right at the halfway point here, so he will be good to go. But the majority of this, well, not the majority, the rest of the field pit on lap 29, but not everybody taking tires, as it looks like we have 3 guys with actually 2 that took only fuel, and that is your top 2 guys, Jacob Allen and Rick DeWeese. Those guys will be starting on the front row. So give you a rundown of the field. It is Jacob Allen, Rick DeWeese, Kyle Heath, James Connolly, Chris Rude, Daniel Wiles, Derek Booker, Austin Lunger, Cody Lunger, Peter Stewart rounding out your top 10, and then you got Robert Richards, Chase Reynolds, and Larry Johnson. So as it stands right now, if the checkered flag flew, Cody Lunger, Chase Reynolds, and Larry Johnson would be the drivers that would be on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
Yeah, but we know that Larry Johnson's got pace. We know he was running up the front. Now he's had time to come in, get that car repaired with unlimited fast repairs. I would expect that he's taken one of those fast repairs. Judging by the pit lane, his pit time was only 8 seconds. So
yeah, but that was on lap,
took fuel.
Yeah, on lap 25. Yeah, he just took fuel and a fast repair, most likely, just to get back out there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, unless he's worked this strategy perfect, then he knows that he's got enough fuel to make it to the end, which is, I don't know, when did he come in before?
Well, 20 laps left is what we got. He's got, he pit on lap 25, right at the halfway point, but most of these guys were out there the whole time, so everybody will be good to go on fuel. Everybody's going to make it here to the end, but 20 laps to go now in this race, in playoff race number 1 here at Daytona. And since we are past the halfway, we will go ahead and give you guys a little love to hear it on this restart.
Green, green, green.
As another caution is going to come out, we'll take a look exactly what happened on this one.
DeWeese, I think.
Looks like DeWeese comes down, but the 31, yeah, 31 maybe comes up a little bit too. And that was a hard impact for Heath up into the outside wall. Take a look one more time and slow it down this time. As the 00 came down, and then it's the second time that he comes down. I don't think he got any help from Connolly, but yeah, you see the 31 just drifts up a little bit, but the 00 coming down, and you see hard impact. Front end rips off of the 00 as well, and then just gets reeled right back in. I mean, I like the damage models on these things, but they got to stay off. Like, if it rips off like that, it's got to stay off. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
It's beautiful enough that it rips off. Just stay like that. The 15 made a fantastic save through this thing as well. We'll take a look at it one more time here. As we'll go to full speed till it comes off the corner here. But the 15 was coming up on this pretty quick, and when you jump down to that apron that quick, car does not like it, and you see when you come back up on the track, then the car really doesn't like it. I've seen the
Oh,
5 shaken, but the 15 certainly had to have some thoughts in his mind of the last caution there, going sideways, back and forth, coming off of turn 4, but this time makes a great save. So shout out to Chase Reynolds on that one. That was certainly a brown pants moment.
Chase was chasing that car all the way through that corner.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
You don't have me here.
You've been working on your English. So now it's starting to get a little tight here, as it is now going to be under 20 laps and most likely under 15 laps to go. And realistically, still not go time. I mean, these guys don't need to get too crazy yet, even though they have this entire race so far. So, I mean, they still do have, 5, 6, 7, 8 laps that they can breathe if they wanted to.
I don't think that's going to happen, Carl. Before you led into your little diatribe there, I was actually rubbing my hands together. Did you hear? Because I was like, here we go. This is where it's going to get spicy. Because I think this is where it's all going to start happening from. I honestly believe, from now, you're going to start seeing a bit of 3 wide. There's people going to start wanting to try to get to the front because there's been... I say that many. There's been enough cautions for people to think, I don't want to be mid-pack. I want to be up front.
Well, especially when you have the allure of unlimited fast repairs, it certainly helps out. You can make a mistake and you just come right back out here. You'd be at the back of the field, but at least you took your shot. So you have that in the back pocket. But just want to give a shout out to everybody out there that is watching. So thank you for tuning in here tonight to the Redline Racing series and CRN. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe and help these guys out get their series out there, as they're going to be finishing up with this one, but another season is certainly already on the horizon for them. So make sure you get in touch with Jacob Allen, get in touch with Cody or Austin Lunger, or even get in touch with one of us, and we'll help you point you in the right direction to get you guys into the league if that's what you want to do. If not, if you're subscribed to the CRN, you'll get to see everything that we put out there, as we've got racing just about every night of the week here on the channel, and a little bit of everything too. We got a couple GT series now, as we got the core GT series finishing up this week, but we have another one that we just started on Wednesday nights as well. So tune in to everything that we got. It's some great racing out there, and I'm expecting some great racing to finish this thing out here, as it's going to be 15 laps to go at the line. Quick shout out once again to our sponsors here tonight, J1 Designs. For any iRacing paint that you need, check out J1 Designs, Shaker's Bar and Grill, and Sam's Tree Service, both of Corey, Pennsylvania. So now that we took care of all the business, it's about time for these guys to take care of business on the track. 15 laps to go. I already see some guys getting some votes of who they think is going to bring this thing home. We got some Cody Lunger love out there. We got some Daniel Wiles love out there. Who do you think is going to bring this thing home? Who do you think is going to be on the outside looking in? Who are going to be our unlucky 3 that will not advance to round 2 at Dover next week? It's about time to find out, and pace car lights are out. We're about ready to go back green here, Mark.
Yeah, here we go. I think this is where the race starts, Carl. I honestly think that they could have left this as a 15-lap sprint, because this is where the race starts.
Once again, in the hands of Barney the flagman, but mainly in the hands of Jacob Allen, that 4, who has now worked his way to the front, and the green flag is waving. Racing here again at Daytona. How far can these guys make it before they start getting a little frisky once again?
I don't think we're going to have to wait that long before things start getting frisky. I think we're going to have to wait long at all. Father Cody just drifting down slightly underneath the apron, getting a little bit of a wiggle on. Well held, brought it back into the line. but my God, that was a big old shake. Just a slight drifter. Oh. Connolly must be absolutely, his head must be on a spring trying to keep an eye on the guys below him.
Man, I don't know about these guys in here, but I'm puckering up here just watching these guys as the 5 got way up there, got into the 29, somehow held it, and that 15 right behind of Reynolds certainly had his share of moments. We'll keep it family friendly here, and almost seen another one right there in front of him, but these guys hold it together and will live to fight another day as the 5 gets a good run, and everybody is going to close back up this entire pack. You can throw it under a blanket once again. It is Daniel Wiles at the front, Allen and Connolly side by side behind him, Lunger and 21 of Johnson getting into it there as they battle for 4th position.
And yeah, I believe that's right. The top 5 currently, well, the top 7, all playoff drivers.
Derek Booker, not a playoff driver. 6 out of the first 7, though, are now 6 out of the first 6, as Reynolds is going to squeak by on the inside. Deweese is one of your playoff drivers there in the back and getting some love out there as well, trying to go from the back to the front. And again, it's still technically not go time, but now going into the wall hard is the 4, and the back half of the field wiped out hard. The question is, I mean, we've seen wrecks like this before. These guys have unlimited fast repairs, but you have to get the car back to pit lane if there's anybody that has to tow, and it looks like possibly the 00 is one of them.
They heard you, Cole. Look, there's no front end on that car.
There it is, yeah. The 00 looks like he may actually be limping back into pit lane, and all these guys are going to get back into pit lane. It looks like the only one possibly stuck and up still going here is Booker. So everybody lucky enough to be able to drive that thing back to pit lane, because that's one thing we haven't talked about. If these guys need to tow, you're probably going to go a lap down, and it's probably a lap you're not going to get back. So it's a good thing these guys can at least limp it back to pit lane to use one of those fast repairs.
Yeah. Now, you got to take a set of tyres, surely, right now. I know you've got enough fuel to get to the end, but you got to take a set of tyres.
Taking a look at the incident, once again, looks like the 4 drifts up and gets into the side of the 21 of Johnson. And Booker drives up underneath him as it just pretty much wipes out the entire back half of the field right there. As a 00, I don't know how he drove that car back to pit lane after watching that ride right there.
Nope.
We'll take a look at that one more time and go ahead and ride on board with the 00, and hopefully you guys don't get motion sick watching this thing.
Yeah, you got nowhere. You're on the brakes. You're looking for a gap. There is no gap. You're just...
And right here when he turns sideways, the hit right there by the 21 just... I mean, I've heard of riding the high line, but this is ridiculous right here for the 00. Gets that thing down off of the safer barrier and able to drive it off of there. But wild ride there for Rick Deweese. But because of the unlimited fast repairs, he is back out on the track and in 5th place, Mark.
We've still got 10 to go. I hope you settled in for a good night, Cole.
Yeah, I mean,
get your blanket, get your cocoa, get your hot chocolate, because I think we could be here for a while.
I mean, it's probably a good thing that we gave our audience an extra 15 minutes to grab some extra adult beverages, because you may need them, and go ahead and grab yourself 1 or 2 more, because I don't think this thing is anywhere close to being over, even though it's close to being over. So we will see how everything shakes out, but right now 11 laps to go. It'll be 10 laps to go at the line, and should be 9 to go when we take the green. But right now it is Daniel Wiles in first place, as yes, the 00 Deweese certainly showing off his Ricky Bobby on that one. James Connolly in second, Cody Lunger, Chase Reynolds, Austin Lunger, Then you got Stewart, Richards, Johnson, Allen, Deweese, Rude, Booker, and Heath rounding out your 13-car field.
Yeah, and I think on a few of these restarts now, we are going to see if they, when they get to the back straight, there's going to be some real pushes through the middle, because it's so easy to get a good run out of 1-2. You've got the overspeed of all the draft of the cars in front of you. You're going to have an overspeed, and a lot of these guys who are slightly out of position, Austin Lunger, Richards, Larry Johnson, you know, they're all gonna want to start pushing through. Deweese, Allen at the back, Heath at the back. I mean, they're all going to want to come through. So I can see that there's going to be a lot of people wanting to actually come through and get back up to the front of the pack.
So the good thing about the unlimited fast repairs is it gives us a chance to have everybody finish here, and with these cautions the way they've been working out, everybody is going to be on the lead lap here to restart this thing. So 13 cars in the field, and all 13 still have a easy, legitimate chance at winning this thing, but they've got to get it sorted out first. We got 10 laps to go right now. It'll be 9 at the line. It'll be Wiles and Connolly on the front row, Cody Lunger and Reynolds on the second row, but it really doesn't matter. It's so long left in this race. I mean, 9 laps is an eternity here at Daytona, and you could easily go from the back to the front, back to the back, and maybe back to the front one more time.
Oh yeah, without question. I have a question for you, Cole. Do you think the unlimited fast repairs was the way to go?
I don't know if it was necessarily the way to go. I don't know if it was really the way they even wanted to set this thing up. It was kind of a late minute where they had to throw the session up, so it might have just been getting it together, and it might have been an error on their part. It may not have been. But in the same case, I mean, you only got a 13-car field. So in that case, in that respect, maybe it wasn't necessarily a bad idea, you know, to have unlimited fast repairs to try and keep everybody in this thing. But we are getting ready to go one more time, and it is going to be, again, Daniel Wiles is your control car, and he's going to get this thing going, showing you the view here from the spotter stand as these guys get rolling one more time.
Oh, good start from the lead pack. I say pack, but that first group of 7 look like they're trying to make the breakaway. But here they come, here come the rest of the field, and here comes that big run that I was saying. Allen got an absolute screamer of a run. It looks like he's coming right through, down up to the inside. Straight onto the back of the rest of the field from almost dead last.
Everybody hanging in there and hanging tough. They will complete a lap here, so I guess good on them for at least that. But it's about to get racy as Connolly is in his comfort zone on the top line. I think Wiles is happy enough to be on that inside line as well. The top 4 are playoff drivers. The next 2 not playoff drivers before you get back to Larry Johnson and Jacob Allen back there. As the outside line just seems like that's where you want to be, Mark. It seems like those guys are just getting a fantastic run coming out of these corners. Whether you have, you know, 3 cars in line, 4 cars in line, or even 1 car in line. I don't know if it's just the side draft being that prevalent or it's what, but the 5 of Cody Lunger getting a little tasty there coming off. But we will have 7 laps to go now here at Daytona, and the outside line is certainly prevailing right now.
Yeah, I will say that I saw Johnson move up from the outside, from the inside up to the outside lane. He looked like he knew what was going to happen. I think that was a smart move. Allen still tucked in there a bit. I think he's now coming up to the outside lane. I think he sees
and there we go. Some guys trying to move down to the inside and block that inside run, and it's going to send Connolly down into the grass. And I was going to say, I'm surprised there's no caution, but the caution is going to come out there. And it looked like just kind of a chain of events, as looked like third place tried to go down the inside, second place went down to try and block the inside and get down there too, and then the 29 tried to go down there, but at that point it was maybe a little bit too late. So we'll take a look back at what brought this caution out here.
Listening to the driver's chat, I think Conley has stuck his hands up and
Well, it looked like the first little bit of incident there might have been a little net code, and then it almost kind of
get a closer view.
Yeah, let me try and get a zoomed in view here, and of course it changes to a different view. Try one more time here. And for some reason, it's not giving me... There we go.
Oh, there we go. It's like the 15 drops down into the inside.
Well, I think before even that, it looked like the 31 went to jump down to the inside. Yeah, right here, the 31 jumps to the inside.
Yeah.
The 15 goes to go with him.
Yeah.
And then I think the 29 just realized too late. He tried to turn out of it, but you see almost like a little net code right there, and then contact was made. It looked like he tried to get out of it. He knew it was just a little bit too late of a move, but unfortunately, it is going to spin him. But luckily enough for the rest of the field, you know, nobody else got involved in any kind of skirmish right there. And these guys were able to drive away, even though they were 4 wide. Actually, maybe not. Looks like the 17 and the 91 getting together here. But a great job. They're going to save it until the 15 gets into it. So, yeah, we didn't see the rest of the melee right here. And certainly a lot more guys getting involved as we look back from Larry Johnson and the 31 almost getting turned up and over. So, I'm sorry, that wasn't the 31. That was the 91 of Peter Stewart. So, take a look at that one more time here.
Around and around she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Almost up and over is where that 91 stopped, and certainly a little cinnamon toast crunching right there as up on top and inside the 15 there for a little bit. But it lands on all fours, and again, all these guys are able to drive away as the 46 just sneaks by in the grass on the inside. But again, luckily for all these guys, nobody needed to tow back into the pit lane. So take you back live now, and you see these guys are already getting ready to go. And it is going to be Larry Johnson on the front row, Rick DeWeese now in second place. So back to front, just like Stone Outdoors was looking for here. And we have got 5 to go. At the line, it is 4 to go. Larry Johnson, your control car. He's on the loud pedal. We're back racing here at Daytona. Who has the gumption to get it done here tonight? It has been crazy here. It has been your typical super speedway kind of race, and I don't think we're anywhere close to being done just yet. 4 to go here at Daytona. 5 spots on the line. Who's going to get the win here tonight? Will it be a playoff driver? Will it be somebody else coming in here to steal it? Let's just get to the finish first of all, though, as these guys are just trying for every position. I don't think these top 5 guys right now, if they would just chill, you know, they are your playoff drivers. But here comes Connolly up the middle, trying to get himself into the mix here and into the playoffs. And yeah, 3 wide was not going to stick right there as these guys are still bouncing around. Oh, and big wreck in the back there, the 15 into the 46, and that's going to be another caution here as these guys diving around. And they're lucky they didn't cause a secondary caution here at the front, but we'll be under caution one more time, and that should be a green-white checkered situation here for these guys.
Yeah, as I said, I knew the aggression levels were going to come up, but some of these moves are, you know, are a little suspect, and I agree with something that you said earlier that, you know, I think all care has gone out the window. Now that they know that they've got unlimited fast repairs, they're just going to put the car wherever they want and hang the consequences, which I think is a little bit of a shame, because I would have liked to have seen some slightly different racing. I wouldn't say cleaner, because I don't think that's the right word to use, but yeah, I think all care for who's around you has gone slightly out the window.
Yeah, and right now, you know, kind of surprised to see Daniel Wiles there at the back in 11th position. Right now, he would be on the outside looking in. He's been one of the guys from ARCA Racing that has been towards the top of the standings for most of the season so far, but that's how it can be when it comes to playoff racing. It can be one race and you're out of it. And I mean, it's the other guy that's not in attendance here is going to be out of it. The guy that was leading the point standings coming in, that is Travis Wells. He is going to be out of the playoffs. Daniel Wiles came in here technically second in points, but actually tied for the lead coming into this race right here. And both those guys can be looking on the outside after this one. Cody Lunger came in third. He is going to be in that top 5 as of right now, but I mean, this thing is far from over, and I think it's anyone's game right now. I mean, even the guys like Wiles and Reynolds in the back right there, I think this thing has been so racy that
yeah,
the front of the field could get wiped out coming to the checker flag, and they can move their way up through there and get in the top 5.
Yeah, and as we were saying before, all you need is that one decent run around down that back straight, and you can come straight through the centre. And it would not surprise me if either Wiles or Reynolds do exactly that, because at this point they have absolutely zero to lose. And I believe we're coming down to like 50, so that would mean what, green, white, checkered?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at overtime right here. I'm waiting for them to get to the line to see how many green white checkers they have on tap here for tonight. Again, the man that normally sets up the races here was not able to set the race up here tonight, so they had to throw it together here real quick. But it looks like our pace car lights are out already, so it could be a quick caution here, and we're going to be getting back to racing. Still haven't gotten the word if it is a green-white checkered here, so we'll take a look and see if they're actually going to get the white flag this time by. Maybe it was set up without green-white checkers, and they're trying to race this thing out to the end anyway. So this could get very, very interesting, and we'll turn our attentions to Barney, the flagman, one more time, as he's got the green flag in hand. And it is Rick DeWeese, Larry Johnson on the front row.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. We'll see. This is indeed your white flag lap. There is nothing else to play for. This is it. Now going in to the final lap here. Who is going to get it done? Who is going to last to the checker flag? And already wrecking. And that is 3 playoff drivers right there. And now Cody Lunger coming down. He's going to get involved in it. And that's exactly what we talked about right there. At the front of the field, it is James Connolly trying to run away from this field. Austin Lunger in second, trying to run him down. The race for the win is not over just yet. Jacob Allen is hanging tough and very close just yet. You see him right back here, but out front it is Connolly and Lunger. Who's going to get this thing done? Jacob Allen trying to run these guys down, but it is going to be James Connolly getting the win here. Now the race back to the line for your final playoff spots, as it is the slow race here. Right now you got Connolly, Allen, and Heath, 3 of them. Reynolds is the 4th right now. And it looks like he's going to get around, limping to the start-finish line, just trying to get this thing done. He is going to be your 4th playoff driver, and Cody Lunger, he's going to limp it home and get an 8th position, but that is enough to get it done. What a finish here. Wow. Do you have any words, Mark? I mean, that was
None. None. I'm spent. I'm exhausted. Guys, just my word. What can I say? I mean, we said up here in the booth that it was going to get spicy towards the end. I didn't anticipate it was going to get that spicy that quick.
Yeah, that was certainly one way to end it there, as it is going to be James Connolly in first, Austin Lunger, Jacob Allen, your top three, and we'll try and get these guys in here in a minute to the broadcast waiting room. But what an epic finish here, not just for the win, but playoffs on the line here. Had a one-lap shootout here, not even a green-white checkered. It was a green and white together for the shootout. What a finish here tonight. Ooh, yeah, I don't know about these drivers, but I got to catch my breath after this one.
So that would make the top 5 playoff drivers who have gone through would be, by my calculations, Connolly, Allen, Heath, Reynolds, and Cody Lunger.
Yep, that is my calculations as well. We're going to bring in a couple guys here. Looks like we're not going to have our winner here tonight. So James Connolly not going to make it here, but he is your winner here tonight. But Mark, why don't we go ahead and you take our second place finisher here tonight, and that is going to be the 70 of Austin Lunger.
Austin.
Hey, tonight, guys.
Yeah, well, apart from the fact I've had about 17 different coronaries, 4 heart attacks, stomach upset, you guys are determined to kill us up here in the booth. What a race.
Yeah, it was an exciting race. I mean, what can you say, really? It's Daytona, especially being that old one. Those cars get loose and get a little sideways going around the turns. We just wanted to say, though, we did have a little bit of a race issue set up. We appreciate everyone for coming out and everything, but I don't know if you guys noticed, we had a lot of incidents. It seemed like everyone was really racing for that win, and we had unlimited fast repairs on and no green-white checker. So we're talking about running a new race just to keep it fair for everyone that was in the playoffs and was here all season. You know, we had a lot of guys already saying it wasn't fair, and which it wasn't, rightfully so. You know, nothing towards the drivers, because everyone's put in a lot of time this season and hard work, and we don't want anyone to get screwed over because of an issue that one of our admins presented. So we don't know if we're going to be broadcasting that one or not, but we'll definitely we want to say sorry to the drivers, to you guys, for anything like that. But it was a great race all in all. It was a great time. It was fun.
Well, I think that's a bold and brave decision. I think that's also the right decision. As you say, due to circumstances beyond anybody's real control, that this wasn't quite the race that you wanted set up. And as you said, unlimited fast repairs did make it a slightly different race than what you normally run and what could have been expected from you. But to rerun the race back, and I think is the right choice. And, I think it's a shame that more admins, when they do have, some slight miscalculations or some slight errors, do, try and put it right. And the fact that you're willing to do that, I think, speaks volumes for the league as a whole, and how you want to treat the drivers who actually join the league. So from me, at least, I think that is the absolute right thing to do, and I think that that's worth mentioning, and congratulations for, because I think that that's important.
Yeah, like I said, I 100% take that one on me. We've been racing by a pretty strict but pretty fun, competitive set of rules this whole season, and everyone's been abiding by those, showing up to those, and expecting that. And we did have a set of playoff rules and everything already set, and I think that's the most fair thing to do to all the drivers. Once again, we apologize for the time that everyone wasted tonight, or if you want to call it time wasted, it's a good practice. I think if anyone that is interested in doing that race, at least they got to feel those cars on that old track too, though. So maybe next week it'll be a little bit cleaner, funner race too. But once again, we apologize. I'll take 100% responsibility on that one, and we just thank you guys and everyone else still for showing up this weekend.
Well, I wouldn't call it a wasted race because that was that was entertaining. I mean, that was me and Carl just been going through, and again, we were talking about how rough that track is and how bumpy it is and how difficult it is to keep those cars online. And it is extremely difficult. I mean, we had a gyro cam going for some time, and you could see the compression and then the expansion of the shocks and of the suspension, and just how difficult it is to keep those cars in even some form of line around this track, because you're constantly fighting the car when the car's compressed in some of those steep banking turns.
Yeah, it's such a fun track to drive. It's really a driver's track, You really got to hang on and hold on to your wheel. The car almost drives you sometimes around those corners, and you just got to hold on and let it do what it's going to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. But anyway, congratulations on second. That was still a great race. It was a shame, I think, it ended the way that it did, but it was still a phenomenal drive. Again, not easy to come anywhere near the top five, especially here, and especially in this field of drivers, because as you said, you do have some phenomenal drivers out there.
Yeah, we got some really fast guys. I couldn't even in the beginning laps before all the incidents and stuff like that. We did a good 20 stretch or so, and I don't know how many lead changes we had during the race, but it was a fun one for everyone out there. The bottom line would groove, and then the top line would fall off. Bottom line would get going. On Daytona, really, it's about who's gonna take the dive and willing to stay with you up on that top line.
Yeah, there was a few times where the bottom line seemed to pull away, and then all of a sudden that top line would come into its own, and they'd have a train going, and then just seem to be able to put the pace on the bottom line. It was interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, you think you're happy sitting in fifth place, and all of a sudden you got a 2 or a 3-pack come flying up beside you.
Okay then, my friend. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to or a call out to before I send you back up to the rest of the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, a huge shout out to the drivers. I apologize for all the incidents this evening, and to you guys, for putting all this stuff on and staying with us. And hopefully, we're going to get our other leagues going and everything like that. We're thinking about doing a dirt and a truck league. So we just want a big shout out to the drivers and you guys, and also, Sam's Tree Service, Shakers, all you guys again and again every week. We just appreciate you guys coming out.
You are more than welcome. Congratulations on the second, Austin. I'll send you back up to the rest of the squad.
Hey, thank you guys. You have a good evening.
And your second place finish here tonight, the 70 of Austin Lunger. And now we'll bring in the third place finisher here tonight. That is going to be the 4 of Jacob Allen. And obviously had a little conversation with Austin there, and in the fact that this race may have not have taken place technically, but either way, for now, it did take place, and what a race it was. I mean, Mark said from the beginning he was going to be keeping an eye on you coming from the back to the front, and he seemed to have done that about, maybe 17 times here tonight. So take me through the racing here tonight. It obviously got a little bit hairy, and under the circumstances, with the unlimited fast repairs, things like that, it probably got even hairier than what it should have been. But what was it like out there? I mean, we've seen you guys going 3-4 wide pretty much right for the rip.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't normally drive like that. The people getting a little aggressive real early, but also I think everyone seeing the unlimited fast repairs may have played a little bit into people's driving strategies on how aggressive they were going to be early or not. So that may have had to do with it, but all in all, it was good fun. We did have those mix-ups where we didn't have this green-white checkered at the end, but overall, I want to thank everyone who raced with us for taking it pretty easy on us with the mess-ups we had and everything. But yeah, it was a good time, good race. I definitely enjoyed pushing from the back. A lot of it was just being able to avoid some wrecks every time they happened, and then not taking tires during one of the pits. That one shot me back up to the front again too.
So tell me about how the handling was. Obviously, some guys may have been a little bit more aggressive when it comes to making some passes and things like that. But once you guys got into the 2x2x2 kind of racing, How difficult was it to keep it on the line with that car just bouncing and kind of just throwing you around on the track?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it just feels like everything is like exaggerated from when you have to decide you want to do something a little early, such as like turn in or any adjustments mid corner. You have to initiate it a bit sooner than you would on any other track, just because you're bound to hit one of those bumps and you're going 5 feet forward without turning left at all when you do. So hopefully you started turning left a little bit ago. It's definitely hairy. We saw a few guys, you wait half a second, quarter second too long to turn in from the bottom, and you're banging the doors on the guys up top.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seemed like one little mistake, whether it was actually a mistake or the track just making a mistake for you, could potentially turn it into a melee. So, looking forward, if this thing does get re-racked and you guys do this thing again, even though you have the faster pairs back to where they should be, if you run the new race here, do you think lessening the faster pairs is going to help these guys out in regards to just being able to keep that thing, kind of pinned down, especially the guys on the bottom line? I mean, we've seen even Cody a couple times be down on that bottom line, and just there's a bump in turn 3 and 4. The way it looked at it just kept shooting him up to that outside line, and regardless if you have the fast pairs or not, you're gonna have to deal with that next week if you guys run this thing again.
Yeah, I think I'd be willing to bet we see a little ease up in the pace, and with people pushing early, which will allow guys up front to ease up the pace a little bit. I would imagine so, but I guess only one way to find out, really.
Absolutely. Well, you were one of the few to survive here, I guess we should say, and survival meant a third place finish here tonight. So while it is, technically on the books right now until anything else happens, congrats on the third place finish here tonight. And anybody you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, shout out to Austin and Cody Lunger, and my teammates, and shout out to everyone who showed up to race tonight. We appreciate all of you guys. You guys make this league what it is. And again, shout out to everyone for taking it easy on us at Redline for the little mix-up we had tonight with the race setup.
Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out you guys as well.
We appreciate that, and yeah, issues happen. No matter how long you've had a league, if it's a 1 month old or 3 years old, issues can happen, and sometimes it's not even on you. Sometimes it's iRacing. Just ask Mark how many times I've argued about iRacing. So it happens, buddy.
Yeah.
But congrats on the third place. In the meantime, we'll let you get down with the guys and start discussing it, and we'll certainly chat about it later.
All right. Thank you guys for your time.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 4 of Jacob Allen, and yeah, there's not much you can say. I think the faster pairs certainly played a part in how aggressive some guys were coming up through the field, and we talked about it multiple times on the broadcast as well, that it gives those guys that opportunity to just drive through the field and devil may care kind of attitude, and you certainly seen it from some guys here tonight. Whether these guys re-rack it or not, it was interesting and it was fun, and it was certainly at the very least entertaining.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you, Marco. Do I think that it's the right decision for them to want to re-rack the race? Absolutely. I really do. They had a set of rules in place. Unfortunately, as I don't want to go over what we've already talked about extensively on the broadcast. I think what happened, the situation that happened, did make a difference to the way that people drove, and you can see that tonight. We've seen a lot of races from all of these guys at Redline, and they've been, for a new league, they've been remarkably clean. This is not what they do or how they drive, but the fact that they did have what they had, and it being a playoffs night, and it was just a case of everybody was trying to get to the front. That's honestly what I believe. So I think they will do a re-rack because they're the kind of guys that will want to keep it fair, clean, and to the rules.
Well, as it stands right now, James Connolly, your winner here tonight, Austin Lunger, Jacob Allen are going to be your top three, but we'll see what next week holds, if it is going to be right back here at the grounds of Daytona, or if we're going to head off to playoff race number 2 at Dover. Either way, it's going to be playoff racing here at Redline Racing. So we'll see how everything shakes out. Tune in on Sunday nights as the Premier Series has their All-Star race, and that is certainly a fun little spectacle to watch those guys, as it's going to be the Kias at Auto Club. So maybe a little bit of super speedway racing there with those cars involved, but All-Star Racing on tap for the Sunday night race. Monday is the GT Series finale for Core, and that is going to crown 2 more champions, as one of them was already crowned with Mike McCoy taking down the GTE championship. The GT3 and GR86 are easily up for grabs for both of those, and multiple drivers involved in those. So me and Mark are certainly looking forward to that one on Tuesday night or Monday night. Tuesday night back to 3 races once again, as the ARCA Series and Truck Series finish up. Both of those wrapped up championship-wise by Zach Roethlisberger, but still one more race at Kansas on Tuesday night for them. And you also have the UCRL boys for the Top Gun Cup. This was very interesting, very fun, and I'm interested to see how this thing goes forward, whether we have another race here or not, or if we go to Dover. We're going to be right here, and we're going to bringing you all the action. But I'm Carl Hamwork, and Mark Thomas up here in the booth joining me. That's going to do it here for Daytona. We'll see you at the track.
Take care, people.